Okay, welcome, penny stock billionaires, to the Thursday night chart chat. Susan, first one in. Susan, welcome. Starting a little bit early, as we sometimes do. Let's start off with Tesla. Again, this is the bellwether speculation stock. It is performing really kind of like what I've been telling you it would do in the last couple of weeks. It broke out of that 895. I guess 895 was that, or 900. You could say, yeah, like 900 was really the breakout level. Broke clean out of that. It's starting to go parabolic. 1077. We're going to see again. I talked about this being $2,000. Last November I said it's 1,000. It took a little while. I thought it would happen in 4 months. It took almost 10 months, 11 months, and now we are on track for 2,000. I don't know if it's going to get to 2,000. I think this thing is going to go completely crazy the next few months. And again, the market is getting very, very. I don't want to say toppy. I mean, things look like they're going to go kind of parabolic the next few months. I don't know why, but they will. And that again is a positive tailwind for microcaps. So we have a couple of charts that look very similar, although some of them are not quite as aggressive. So let's kind of get into the first one right now, which is. I know we have a lot of fans of VSB VSBY. So what you see here is kind of what you see back at 85 cents is essentially what you saw with Tesla, where it kind of broke out of there. And what's happening here is, it's kind of consolidating in this range. $140. I thought it might go a little bit lower. It would consolidate at a lower level, but now it looks like it's right about here. And let's see. Let's take a look at the 1 hour chart. Yeah. So tomorrow is going to be kind of an interesting day. I would say there's, again, I'm a little bit optimistic. So I would say there's a kind of a 50-50 chance that I think we've seen the bottom, but right here you see this kind of pennant forming. You have this range, and it could do one of two things. It could either break out of this range or it could break down. The odds are, I think, pretty good that we're going to break out to the upside. We've kind of had a double bottom. This $1.40 seems to have become the new level of support. And things are looking pretty good. Now, of course, we had was it the Bruce Campbell on? I think he's a fan of VSB. I'm not speaking for him. I don't know, but I think he does have it in his portfolio for now. And now this thing is definitely, we got if you look at this 15-minute chart for all of you degenerate day traders, this thing is pretty much a solid uptrend with a nice consolidation, nice volatility here, a little bit of a whipsaw to shake people out. Really, this definitely puts a lot of investors to the test. This kind of whipsaw that you saw over here. I think we're going to break out to new highs in the next week. So let's see what happens in the next day or so. Okay, Michael, you're back. You were here earlier. I mean, what are you on your computer all day, man? I thought you're selling houses in Toronto or something. Okay. Esmas. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I think from what I understand, I think he's in Milan right now. I think he's in Europe. Yeah, I think he's at some trade show. He's been pretty busy. So he has been pretty busy from what I understand. And let's take a look. What else is going on? Yeah, so VSB, I think, is in a pretty good position to move up tomorrow. Okay, let's take a look at a couple of other charts, which And again, I think Visby, has a shot to go crazy in the next couple of weeks. This month, I think we could see a double by Christmas. I mean, this could, which is only, what is it, 8 weeks, 7 weeks away now. Can this stock double? I think it can go, I think it can. I think we could see 250 minimum. But let's see what happens after it hits 250. We got to see first 250, but it's setting up really well. There's no major, crazy gaps up. It's been a really just a measured, very solid uptrend. So this is one of these things where you kind of have to hodl. And again, of course, nothing here we say is a recommendation to buy or sell securities. See the disclaimer that we're running over here in this thing here. And of course, yeah, so right now we got 8-9 stocks that are up between 1,000 to 5,000% that we've had. And we get a couple more that are lining up to be the next 10 baggers. Here is one, I think, again, right now, I think a pretty good entry point, Logic. Now, we've seen the stock almost, well, basically, okay, so we introduced it last year, $3.50, went to $14. They did the Canadian financing. Again, that completely derailed the whole thing. You got short sellers coming. It destroyed the stock, basically, this whole Canadian. So the stock is listed on the NEO exchange. For all the Canadians watching this does trade on the NEO in Canada. Same symbol, LGIQ. And here we got, I mean, this is basically, you got kind of like a perfect double bottom, maybe even a triple double bottom. I mean, you have this seems to be the base. 220 is kind of that base that it's had for forever. So when you're buying the stock here, your downside is very limited because I don't see this thing going below, what is it, 217, 210. 210, 215. That's kind of the bottom. It's kind of like what we saw Tetra back in, if you look at the old Tetra chart, TBP, that thing never went below 15 cents. Same thing here. So when you're buying it kind of at these levels, you have minimal downside. Again, I'm not making any recommendations to buy or sell, purely chart opinions. And look, we saw big move the other day. We had Brent on, and he outlined what they're going to be doing to increase shareholder value, which is they're going to be basically spinning out their emerging markets fintech business. That's the fintech business in Indonesia, Nigeria. These are the hottest emerging markets for mobile commerce, fintech, all that good stuff. And when you have the two companies, the ad tech business, that emerging markets fintech business, I think the market it's going to be easier for people to understand pure plays. And that, I believe, is the catalyst, one of the big catalysts. Okay, Michael, all right. Yesterday, good time to get in. So, okay, waiting for breakout confirmation to add to Visby. Okay, yeah, if it breaks, I guess, some people like to buy things on breakouts. Some people like to buy double bottoms, that type of thing. I'm kind of a bottom feeder. So I kind of like things at a double bottom. A lot of other people like things when they break out, which probably is, in a way, it's the smarter bet is to buy in the breakout. Let's see. Okay, what do we got coming up here next? We have, okay, so Logic is in a great setup. Let's take a look at the next one, ESE. In the US, that is ENTEF, ENTEF. And this chart is looking amazing. So, I've been talking about this for a while. For the last week, 2 weeks, I've been saying, look, this thing is just wait. It's kind of like this is almost like a jet taking off on the runway. It's kind of slowly, you can see like a lifting off right off of that, moving average, as that's the support level, the 50-day moving average. and this thing just wants to go higher. I'm surprised we have not seen a bigger move yet in the stock. Like, I really was expecting this to be like $1.50 by now, on the way to $2 plus. I mean, this thing is, from this chart, we could easily see $4. And I know this is going to sound crazy. I don't know how, but this could go to $8. So I think we go to $4, consolidate, and then go to $8. I know it sounds insane. I would not be shocked if it goes to $8. Now, listen, I've said a lot of crazy things on these chats. I've talked about peak fintech, PKK, back when it was 50 cents, 75 cents, went to $15, 20 bagger, CBDT. We're seeing the same thing right here. I mean, what's going to happen, I believe, with ESE is it's going to shoot up to $4, probably quickly, probably by the end of the year. Next 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, it's going to go to $4. And then it's going to consolidate. I don't know for how long, maybe a month. And from there, it could break out to $8 based on this chart. Again, the longer you see this kind of consolidation base period, it's all in proportion. It's almost like physics, geometry. That's what these charts are. It's basically physics and geometry. Now, I mean, I can go into all like Fibonacci bullshit, all that. I'm kind of eyeballing the chart. I'm not going to get into all very specific details. I'm not going to get like anal about all the technical indicators. I'm just kind of giving you the eyeball thing here. There's no sure thing anyway, but I am certain that this thing is going to go $4 minimum and then $8. What's going to make it go to $8? Very simple. So, you've seen Conrad on the show talking about this thing going to, essentially building an esports business that is, he's essentially doing a consolidation play. Here's the US symbol ENTEF. As you can see, it's gaining some traction, nice volume coming in. He is, his goal to get to 100 million run rate this year. I don't think he's going to get to 100 million 2021. It'll probably be in the first quarter. But the stock is forward looking. And look, if this thing goes to 100 million run rate, it could be 10 times revenue. It'll get to that type of multiple easily. We've seen EGLX went to $1 billion valuation. This guy is doing the same thing, except on the infrastructure side, consolidating the esports infrastructure businesses, etc. Now you're gonna have this FaZe Clan, which is going public through an IPO, a SPAC merger, in the next couple of months. And the FaZe Clan thing is going to bring even more eyeballs to the esports space. So I think that's going to be very bullish for ESE, ENTEF. And again, this thing is ready to break out. So if you're like the guy earlier who says he wants to buy in breakouts, basically watch this thing, watch ESE, if it breaks above $1.40. So if it breaks out above $1.40, it's pretty much going to just take off. I mean, there's really no resistance till 263. That's pretty much it. This is the where it's having the hardest time. Again, these guys also did a financing back in July. And again, these Canadian financings really screw up stocks. I understand now why investors in Canada are so paranoid about any kind of financing, because you get these degenerate hedge fund guys who start shorting the stocks and they get the warrant. It's a whole game, because all they want to do is just make like the 10%. They want to capture that return, and that's it. Maybe hopefully make more, but that's the basic game. And that really puts like a wet blanket on a lot of stocks for months in many cases. So basically, I think we're pretty much done with it. So ESE is ready to go. So this thing is on the runner. We got Logic. Okay, see, somebody's asking about RYAH. Now, RYAH is actually, again, not a lot of data on this chart. As you can see, this chart is, you can't really go off this chart. There's only like a couple of months of data. It's not really a clear chart. It looks, I think we've seen the bottom here. They got some pretty strong fundamental catalysts. There's going to be a lot of news flow. We saw the live stream today. So things should be starting to happen. So again, it's hard to really, I mean, it's hard to go off this chart. I'm kind of leaning towards a move. If it breaks, okay, I'll put it this way. If it breaks above 10 cents, that means the uptrend is back on. That's as much as I could read into it. I'm leaning more that we're probably going to see that move up, and we should see this thing. You know, once this thing clears 12 cents again, it could be easily a, 50-cent stock. I mean, it's got enough in the story, enough in the fundamentals to get to 50 cents, and hopefully it becomes a 10-bagger at $1. Next, RHT. Were there earnings? I don't know. Are there earnings? I didn't see any news yet on my computer here. So this chart, a little bit shaky. Actually, let me see. Were there earnings? Somebody said there's earnings, which I was not aware of. Okay. I wasn't aware of this. There we go. The father provides corporate update. 440. Okay, it's funny. Okay, I didn't even know this. Okay, increase in sales or 25% higher than Q3. Expansion. Okay, on track. Margins increased. Margins increased from 15% in FY to 58%. That's the right direction. Okay. So 75% gross margin, 45% EBITDA margins on target. I don't know, man. This thing looks good to me. So I don't know. Somebody was saying that the market wasn't happy. I don't know. Maybe people sold in advance. I don't know. But okay, so it looks like it's sold off today. Interesting. So it's below the moving average, so we could see this thing drop. I mean, it's below. It dipped below. Again, this is the 1 hour moving average. The daily moving average, still the trend is up. So you have support. Okay, your key support is going to be like in this $1.05 range. Even I would say $1. Pretty much $1 is where your key support is. If it stays above $1, it's going to go up. If it breaks below $1, we might see go down. It's kind of hard to. I mean, I'm kind of leaning that it's going to break out again. I'm an optimist. I have a feeling it could go higher, but again, you got this consolidation phase. It is below the moving average, so the market is the market not happy with those results? I don't know. I mean, it looks like the stock could drop a little bit. It looks like it could drop to $1. Very possible. Very possible. So I would say right here, it's kind of like a 50-50. I would say 60% chance of this dropping to $1. 40% chance of it breaking out tomorrow. This one is like a coin toss right here for any of you degenerate day traders. This one is a bit of a coin toss. Yeah, listen, I'm leaning towards this thing going to 250 plus, the next month or so. Today's chart, I mean, this is a little bit a little shaky here, so it's hard to say. Who is some guy? I think it's not an insider. Some guy was like, I think from one of the companies, and I think he's like, I think it's one of the companies that they bought, and he just, I don't know, he just liquidates stock. When people, I don't know, usually when somebody sells a business, they get paid in stock, whatever. They might want to sell some stock. I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't I wouldn't read too much into it because it is. I think I saw the thing. He's like, it's a very, very small amount of stock. It's not like, yeah, that's the Trump stock. Yeah, as much as I'm a fan of Trump, I don't know, man. This thing, I mean, I don't know if that thing is gonna do. It's very difficult to build a platform, a social media platform, to get. I don't know this. His. The thing is, his businesses outside of real estate. I don't know. I've never really It's always he does these crazy things. I've never really, none of them have really worked out outside of real estate. He doesn't really, I mean, it's unless he's licensing his name to something or the real estate thing, it's a little bit. It could be a little bit out of his lane. But who knows? I don't know. Is the thing worth $1 billion? Absolutely not. No, that'd be crazy. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so it looks like, we got a lot of people who probably would buy it in that dollar. DWAC. That's what. Wow, 13. What did this thing go at? Let me see. DWAC. That's what. I don't understand this at all. I mean, I think these SPAC things are just nutty. Holy shit! Oh my god, I can't. Yeah, I can't believe this thing. It makes completely no sense. I mean, it's completely no sense. The chart is still up. Again, there's not a lot of data here. It's like one of these things you can't really read into it. There's really no data. But I'll tell you what, man, if this thing at $100, wow. I mean, I would have sold. I would definitely sell 100 at 100. I mean, this thing could still pop, but I would definitely blow this thing out because come on, let's be real here. Let's see. Did you sell at 175? That would have been that'd be an amazing. Yeah, crazy. Yeah. So this is listen. This is good. The DWAC. This is bullish for the microcap area. But it could be. I don't know who's buying the stock. Is it Trump supporters, Trump fans? Is it day traders who think that Trump fans are? I don't know who's like the business. I don't see that as a. But here's the thing, though. Here's the crazy. The wow, 167. That's a great trade. I would take that money and run. Yeah, take that money. Yeah, so it's interesting. In the media business, the right-wing media stuff like websites, radio shows, like talk, that stuff does well for that they make a lot of money. Left-wing stuff does not make money, like MSNBC or all these like left-wing websites. They never really, for whatever reason, they're not able to monetize. Whereas like a site like a Newsmax or a couple of these other guys make a ton of cash. So you know what? That could become a very strong business. Is it worth $1 billion? I don't think. I mean, is it worth $1 billion? Right? I mean, it could be worth $1 billion in a few years. But yeah, I mean, it'd be crazy. Wow, holy shit! This is unbelievable. This is insane. Yeah, crazy stuff. Okay, so back to DWAC. So yeah, what do I have DWAC on here? They're not, and yeah, what? Actually, it's interesting. Wall Street Reporter did an interview with Trump in the late 90s when he had that casino business, and And I think somebody tried to sell him one of our programs, one of the RYAH like reprints, because we had print magazines and print. And that guy's a cheap guy, really. So he was like, not that he needs our services. So yeah, but yeah. Let's see here. Next, what do we got here? See, we got distracted by the Trump thing, which means this guy's definitely running for re-election. Apparently, top of mind. If this stock is running, very, very, 100%. Let's see here. What's going on? What are the stocks? Okay, so ESE. ESE looking very, very strong for tomorrow, this week. As you can see, this is close-up of the chart. This thing is basically taking off. It needs to clear this $1.40 area, and then it is off to the races, or we could see $4 plus. Okay, RYAH talk. Okay, now OG, Organic Garage. Again, I am absolutely certain that this will be our next 10 bagger plus. With that said, let me just run this quick disclaimer just to make sure everybody knows. All these stocks are very high risk. You could lose all your money with these stocks. They can all go to zero. There we go. There you go. Okay, so Organic Garage. Chart looks amazing. As you can see, we're above the moving average. It's been consolidating in this area. It's very interesting. I think the only thing that's standing in the way here right now is psychologically. You got a lot of retail investors. I think not even retail. You have probably some short sellers, some hedge fund guys are saying, okay, these guys filed a prospectus. They're probably going to be raising money here. Now, again, this thing was filed when the stock was like 30 cents, right? Did they raise money at 30 cents? No. Did they raise money at 35 cents? No. Are they raising money here at 45 cents? No. So, and everybody was convinced that they were going to raise that money right away. There's going to be dilution. Stock is good. As far as I know, okay, my understanding, again, this is my understanding, is that nothing is planned anywhere, definitely not in this price range. Most likely nothing below probably 80 cents. So again, that's kind of what I understand. So in other words, hey, if the stock takes off to $1, maybe they might raise, but they're not going to raise like $20 million. And look, they got, what is it, $2.5 million in cash. And as you can see from this company, from the way Matt runs that business, again, he's a major shareholder. He's very concerned about dilution. He runs a very tight ship. So what they might do, and again, that prospectus is good for 2 years. So what they might do is they might raise a little money, maybe at $1, maybe somewhere in that range, maybe again later. It's gonna dribble out a little bit, but that money is gonna be, it's gonna be a positive for the company. However, so here's the big news: they announced that they're gonna be rolling out these stores. And again, there's two parts of the story. There's the expansion, the scaling of the retail business, which I think is potentially $1 billion business right there. And then you get the retail investors who love the plant-based foods business, the brand, the CPG side of the business, which is what everybody wants to talk about. So, which is fine. So I'm kind of focused on the retail stores, and they announced today that they're going to be expanding. They signed up. They hired this Savills, which is, that's the major commercial real estate firm that basically, gets these deals done. They find the locations. So the takeaway was this. The takeaway, 3 a.m. Okay, so when does the Frankfurt market opens? What time? A couple of hours, right? And all these stocks do trade in Germany. This trades in Frankfurt. I forgot what the symbol is, but it's, you could look it up. But yeah, so you might get a head start on everybody here. You could be the next Calvin, going all in on a 10 bagger and parlay that. There's definitely. So let's see here. Yeah, so basically they're going to be launching these stores. The research that, by the way, when they hire these these commercial these firms that the tenant representative firms that do the leases and all that stuff, yeah, they do a lot of very, very sophisticated research to figure out where would what would be a perfect location, which areas. I mean, it's really, really very, very deep, sophisticated research, and they're saying they have room for at least, what is it, 20 to 25 organic garage stores in the greater Toronto area. That's Toronto. Nobody even knows where Toronto is, right? That's like a little, a little place. That doesn't even include the rest of Canada. We're talking about like Vancouver or whatever other areas. The US. So here's the thing. This guy, Matt, he's not like a promoter type of guy. Like, he's not a hype artist. He's a very, very conservative guy. He's like, doesn't want to like really kind of let the cat out of the bag. Maybe he doesn't want, so whatever you're getting, you probably, whatever he says, basically, I would say multiply that by like 3x. Some CEOs, whatever they say, you got to like discount by 50% or 70%, 80% sometimes. With this guy, you kind of have to multiply it by 4x. So I think they're going to open, and if you kind of read between the lines of today's interview, maybe I'm kind of reading into it, they can open the first 4 locations probably in the next 6-9 months with the existing cash that they have. So they don't need to raise money to get those stores open. And what's going to happen is once they get those stores open, the market's going to do the forward projection. These stores can make 6 to 8 million in revenues, so that essentially they're going to be doing 50 million a run rate by next year. That's not what the company's saying. That's unofficial. It's just what I think could happen. And that means the stock could be trading at, just based on that, I don't know, 3 times revenues. That's not a big multiple. That's a very, very conservative multiple. So it's 100 million plus, 150 million plus. Their market cap now is only 25 million. So you add the other thing. I think this is a real easy setup to be a 10 bagger, in my opinion. But okay, enough about the fundamentals. Let's go back to the chart. Oh yeah, next week we're gonna really talk more about the plant-based food business. So these guys have a great path to building out that future of cheese, these kind of dairy alternative things. It's a massive multi-billion-dollar market, but that's really, I believe, just the start, because their expertise, they know what sells. I mean, they operate retail, organic grocery stores, so they know what sells on shelves. These guys, Matt, that team, they have the inside track to any type of vegan plant-based brands. So, this is, I don't think this future of cheese is going to be the only thing they're going to be doing. They're probably going to have a whole platform of plant-based brands that they could develop and launch. Okay, forget about that. Forget about the fundamentals. Who cares about that? Let's take a look at the chart. This thing is looking pretty bullish here. You get a consolidation here in this 45-cent range, kind of a pennant forming, a little flag, whatever, what have you. It's above the moving average. This is the 1-hour chart, and I think we're going to break out of there. Like, the stock needs to clear this 45-cent range, 48-cent range, 50-cent range. I think once it clears that 50 cent, it is going to run significantly higher. I think we're going to see a buck. They probably, this is not anything that I know, but they probably would do a financing like in that $1 range. So I think you have like a clear shot to a buck right now. And then it might consolidate like in that dollar range before it breaks out. So, but so I think we have a pretty clear path to a buck. And that's a nice even number where, they probably might do a small raise, maybe raise like, I don't know, a couple $1 million, $4 or $5 million. I mean, they're not going to do everything all at once. They want to really do it in a very smart way. So there's probably a short position in the stock. People who thought that, okay, these guys are going to do a raise. They're going to short the stock, cover in the short, get warrants. That's not going to happen. So these guys are going to get squeezed. It's going to be like there's going to be a bit of a short squeeze happening. It'll be very interesting. Let me just catch up to some of the comments here. Sorry about that. Yeah, they're doing what? 25 million plus revenues, organic garage. They're going to have the future of cheese, the dairy business. Oh, yeah. So Bruce Campbell. Yeah. So no, yeah. He was, look, I mean, I brought him onto the show because very simply, look, the guy deals in the microcap space very successfully. I thought he would have a very interesting perspective. Not so much, I didn't bring him on to hype stocks. I brought him on really to talk about like what is the approach that he uses, the research approach, how does he pick stocks, but more importantly, the whole investing philosophy. I think the big takeaway really is, you got to manage risk, and if you look at his whole philosophy is, and he didn't go into too much detail because that, I mean, I don't know, it's super sophisticated, but they have a real it's position sizing, so they don't want to have any position get to more than 5%. So hey, once a stock really starts taking off and it becomes worth more than 5% of their portfolio, they start selling it off till it gets down to that whatever 5% or so. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. And the other thing is, if you can read between the lines, essentially he says you got to sell these stocks when they start becoming 10x plus, when people start drinking the Kool-Aid, things get really crazy. So by the way, Visby is not at that level yet. I know people are pumped about it, but it's not in the Kool-Aid. Visby is not in the Kool-Aid phase yet. It might get there in that $3 range. Once you hear people on message boards saying, okay, this is going to the moon, I will never sell this, it's going to $30, $100, you might want to take some profits at that point. Okay, if you're brand new to our channel, make sure you click the link below to join our Discord and also Telegram. Our Telegram channel is free. Click the link in the video description below of these videos to get access to that for trading ideas throughout the day. Commentary, not advice, of course. Yeah, I would agree. I don't think it's going back to 30 cents. I am pretty certain of that. I am pretty certain we will not go back to 30 cents. Yeah, it's pretty much taking off here. Okay, this is very interesting. I think that most investors, for sure the retail investors, like the plant-based. I mean, that they're buying into it because of the plant-based thing, because the plant-based stocks, that's it's everybody's. By the way, I got calls in the last week from 4 companies and 4 stocks, in the Canadian plant-based food companies, they want to do promotion, and but they're all they're all overpriced. I mean, they're all overvalued for what they are. I mean, so maybe that's why, I tell you what, compared to everything else out there, OG is the best bet because you're getting the plant-based business for free, and that could be huge. Here's the thing. Compared to most of these companies out there, these stocks in the CSE, TSX that are plant-based, this, that bullshit, which are run by, the guys running those companies. I mean, last week they were, doing cannabis. The year before that, they had car washes. They were, stockbrokers, what have you. This is a business, Organic Garage. This future of cheese is run by a guy who really understands the space. He sells it. He's doing it for years. That's the guy to do it. There you go. How much does OG make? There you go. 6 to 8 million per store. Check out the videos. Wall Street Reporter 1843 channel. We have 2-3 videos. We've got a store. There's a bunch of videos we just did with Organic Garage. There you go. Yeah, from what I understand, it tastes amazing. Personally, I'm not into the plant-based stuff, but everybody I talked to who's tried it says it's fantastic. So, yeah, $2, I think, easy. Yeah. Yeah, definitely check them out. Okay, wow, super chat. I don't know these guys. Vegan Burger French or GBYLF. Tell you what, I will pull it up. GBYLF. I don't know how to find it. Odd Burger. There we go. Odd Burger. Oh, here we go. Odd. Odd. I don't like that symbol. Odd. That's odd. Come on, man. That's a strike. Odd. I don't even like this name. Odd. It's a negative name. I mean, you know what? I don't even know what they do, but I just don't like that name. It's a negative name. It's not a positive name. Like as a brand, I don't know. Are they making money? Are they I don't know. I mean, this thing doesn't look bad. It doesn't look like it's going anywhere though. So yeah, I don't know about this. Yeah, what I like about Organic Garage, one of the things, it's an amazing name. It's an amazing brand name, which has a lot of legs. I mean, this in terms of the stores, Future of Cheese. I'm not crazy about that name personally. I'm not crazy about it, but I don't know. I'm not a vegan guy. I'm not into plant-based stuff, so maybe it's a thing. I don't know. And who knows? They could change it, whatever. So these guys are pretty sharp. I mean, they understand merchandising and all that. So let's see how it goes. But yeah, the Organic Garage brand, I think, is an amazing brand name that could. I mean, I think it's $1 billion brand right there. But yeah, apparently the retail investors want to hear all about the plant-based stuff. Next week, I think Tuesday, we're going to have Matt back on, and we're going to go into a lot of details. We're going to have, I think, the guys from the Future Cheese, was it Afram or something? And they're going to be talking all about that. And yeah, again, think of it this way. These guys have the perfect platform to launch plant-based brands, to do M&A, to acquire plant-based, because they could put it on their shelves. I mean, they have the retail and they have the expertise. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, this is like got to be the most undervalued stock, because what you're getting with Organic Garage is you got the base business, and then you have, the plant-based. You got the blue sky potential. It's kind of like what do you call it? Okay, I'll give you the metaphor. Okay, so Warren Buffett bought Salomon Brothers. I don't think anybody watching this even knows that name. Salomon Brothers in the 80s up until the 1990s was one of the biggest Wall Street firms, bond trading firm. Anybody read that book? Was it Liar's Poker? Famous book, Michael Lewis. It was about Salomon Brothers. So Salomon Brothers, they ran into some problems with, what is it? They I think they rigged an auction of treasury bonds or whatever. It was some issues they ran into. And anyway, Warren Buffett came in, he had to bail them out. So why did Warren Buffett invest in Salomon Brothers? Because Salomon Brothers had really two businesses. They had like a cash flow generating traditional business, which was like, the brokerage, like regular trading, and the investment banking, maybe advisory business. And then they had their trading operation, the bond trading operation. And the way he referred to it was, hey, it's like you're getting this, you're buying a restaurant with a casino attached. So really the restaurant kind of pays the bills, but you're really making money in the casino. That's where the upside is. So here with the Organic Garage, the stores, that's kind of like the base. That's the foundation that makes the money. This thing is great. But the blue sky is going to come in from these the brands. And again, it's a bit of a casino thing, almost like it's a bit of a crapshoot. Anytime you have a new product with anything, you never know how it's going to work. It could be huge. I mean, it could be $1 billion brand. We've seen these things become. We've seen like Chobani, the yogurt thing. We've seen a bunch of these things become massive $1 billion brands. Consumer. Look at the Kardashians. I mean, the Kardashians. I mean, have created $1 billion brands from like, I don't know what they sell, like what do they have? I think one of them sells like I know there's two, one of the sisters sells the makeup, and she's like a billionaire or 20, what is it? It's a brand, it's branding. And the other one is now Kim Kardashian is now a billionaire. She's selling underwear, like some weird stuff, and she's that thing is worth all of a sudden massive amount of money. So brands can become very quick, and they can scale very, very fast. Trip is I don't know, man. I don't think so. I mean, I don't. It's not in the plans. So they've been kind of off our radar for months now. I hope it does. I hope listen. I hope the stock does well, because I have some stock. I'd love for the stock to go to $2 or whatever, or even 50 cents. I'd be happy. Yeah. So, Cody, I think that's the thing that with the Kardashians, right? Okay. So to wrap up, bottom line for tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow, here are the stocks that have a high probability of making massive moves over the next couple of days. Organic Garage, I think we have a very nice setup here to make a big move. ESE chart looks amazing. This chart looks absolutely amazing. Like it could just explode right here. Again, this thing go to $2 easily, and then $4, possibly $8. $8, yes, it can happen. So we get OG, we get ESE, Visby also. I think tomorrow we're going to see a move to the upside. Which other one? Logic, another one. Tomorrow, I believe we will see a move to the upside. Some crazy volatility in the stock. I think we got kind of this kind of pennant happening and wants to go higher. It's hard, kind of a little bit hard to read this chart right here, but no, this is bullish. This thing really wants to go higher. It's amazing. Yeah, this thing tomorrow I think could see a massive move up, and of course, the backing all that up is you got this big double bottom. So you got Logic super bullish, ESE super bullish, Visby, Organic Garage very bullish, RHT 50-50. I don't know. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. It's almost like that's part of the fun. You don't know. I mean, I think it's going to break out to the upside. I don't know. Okay. Thank you for joining. I will see you next week on the next live stream. Next Tuesday, we're going to have Organic Garage and a couple of other things. And surprise guests next week. Stay tuned.